Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to VidaneTV here for the championship edition of the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. Nathan Wenzel clinching the championship with a good, solid pole run. Needed 32 cars to show up here tonight to have any kind of challenge from Skylar Shippey, who came in 325 points, 357 for Nathan Wenzel. So he's going to lock that checkered flag up, or lock that championship up with that checkered flag, or with the green flag here tonight at the start of the race. Congratulations to that 03 crew, but still 175 laps on the docket for the season. Jeremiah Sargent going to start on the outside of row number 2. Skylar Shippey in third. J.D. Stockwell, Caden Roberts going to round out the top 5. Ryan Carmen, Justin Beecher, Sean Boudreau, Rodney Huntoon, Kyle Kenny going to be the top 10 as they cycle around the racetrack for the final time. Doubled up behind that race car, that iRacing Pace truck. Lights are out. We are ready to rock and roll one final time here at Martinsville for 175 laps, presented by Lightning Chassis. And as we take a look at the starting lineup throughout the rest of the field there, everybody else going to take the green flag, and there you see it with that flag. It takes the championship home with the 03 car. Now he's just got to get out there and win the final race, put on a little bit of a show, and make sure that nobody else can take any of the spotlight here this evening. You can see he's going to slide into the second hole right now, tucked in the tire tracks of the 55 car of Jeremiah Sargent. Single file up front, a little bit, a lot of bit of calamity back towards the back of the pack. Couple of, handful of cars, half a dozen or so getting tore up early on here on lap number 2. We'll back up to U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay, take a little look at it. There you can see some of the calamity already. Drivers slowing down here at this point. Take a peek. Well, there's the 16 car, Dylan Zulo, who was up in the top 5 in points, finding himself pointed in the wrong direction. We'll back that up, take a peek at it. There's still 3 wide action up in front there. So that might very well have been what caused the incident. We'll take a peek. There's a 19 taking a peek in the middle. Lots of room. 44 kind of comes down, and almost 4 wide at that point with Zulo down on the bottom side of the racetrack. But you can see everybody else does a great job getting slowed up and woed up. No contact or no further contact from anybody else in the back of the pack. So good news there. A handful of cars going down to pit road. There's the 19 car of Aaron Thompson, Dylan Zulo down there as well. The 11 of Cody Parker, Dylan Sweeney, Andrew Harmon, all down on pit road. 23 cars starting here this evening. Caden Roberts appears to, still out there on track, having a little bit of a connection blink. Going to get that sorted out and back at it. But early on, caution flag here at Martinsville. And this is one of those tough tracks that a lot of drivers, it's not that they struggle with it. It's just everybody seems to kind of run it often, and it almost seems to cause calamity every time we come here. High caution count here for Martinsville Speedway, but I have high hopes. These Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series drivers have been putting on a clinic here for us on Wednesday nights the past month and a half or 2 months or so here on VidaneTV. Been putting on a heck of a show here for us and for everybody out there watching on the internet. We're live all over the place. We're live on the VidaneTV Facebook page. We're live on the VidaneTV YouTube page. We're over on Twitch, and we're over on Twitter. So be sure to give us a like, a share, a subscribe, a follow, all that good stuff. And make sure you like the video and like the post as well. It helps us out. It helps out with the algorithm. Lets everybody in your friends list know that you like a little entertaining iRacing action here on a Wednesday night. And we can't thank you enough for joining us here. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. in the broadcast booth for the final time here in a couple of weeks. Heading on down to Florida for Speed Weeks. Going to be doing some short track TV stuff. Really looking forward to getting hooked up with the Pit Road TV guys. That's where we'll be able to see all of my craftsmanship here in the past or in the next week and a half, 2 weeks or so. It's going to be very, very early morning tomorrow night. We're getting wrapped up here tonight with the Turn 4 podcast, folks. We're going to go through some interviews and pack a bag and taking a quick little nap, because then we're heading out to the airport for 4 a.m. So that's gonna be rough, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting a lot of folks in the racing world, the sim racing world, and do that thing like we like to do here at VidaneTV. A, entertain the masses, and B, bridge that gap between sim racing and real racing. Kind of bring both communities together and really kind of strengthen both sides of it. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, it's a whole lot warmer down in Florida than it is here in Connecticut. It's cold here. I'm kind of sick of the winter months here, but getting down to the racetrack, getting racing season kicked back off. It's kind of a tough thing because the iRacing kind of takes a set back burner, but the real racing takes precedent on that front burner. So looking forward to it. 24 is going to be a big year in the racing world, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. There we go. Pace truck down in the safety of pit road once again. Little bit of cat and mouse up on the top side from our champ, the 03 car of Wenzel, but we're going to go all the way to the Geico restart zone and take that green flag. And there you see Jeremiah Sargent doing everything he needs to do. Perfect start there for the 55 car. 03 car not quite able to get down in where he needs to be. He wanted to get down on the tire tracks with that 03 car, but was able to do it. It took him a little bit of extra time there because that Skyler shipping machine, the 051, coming on up into the picture and been in that podium since the drop of the green flag, holding on to that third spot. You can see drifting up the track just a little bit, kind of opened the door a little bit for JD Stockwell in that bright green 45 car to kind of take a peek, get a little air in the nose, see what it's like to turn that race car down there on the bottom side. Caden Roberts, the 008 car there as well. Ryan Carmen and the 08. Those guys are bumper to bumper as Justin Beecher has a little bit of breathing room. Caution flag number 2 flies here tonight. So we'll back it up in the U-House instant replay. U-House Designs, U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Nailed it. First time. DeCourcy in the 74 got into a little bit too hot, and a couple of drivers at Zulo pointed in the wrong direction. Getting real good at grabbing a gear and spinning around, though, because you can see minimal damage on the 16, a little bit of damage for the 49 car. Checked out the 19 car involved in another one here. So tough break for some of the cars in the back. Daniel Sweeney in the 012 looks to be a lap down, as does Dylan Zulu, Andrew Harmon here at Martinsville. 20 cars on the lead lap, and it looks like everybody's staying out this time around. Working at lap 11, caution flag number 2. Here at Martinsville for the Lightning Chassis 175, 175 laps on the docket here tonight, and it's going to be an exciting race. Already crowned our champion with the drop of the green flag, the 03 car. There you see him running in P2. Wenzel's going to clamp that championship down, easy enough for me to say, as needed 32 cars here to start tonight. Came close, came very close. Great car counts all season long here tonight. 23 taking the green flag. 24 if you count the race director, the number 3 car of Brandon Uhouse out there. We've got to give Brandon Uhouse. Done a great job with the race official stuff here in the Turn 4 Podcast Winter Series all season long. That's the one job that nobody wants to do in a racing series and a sim racing series. Any kind of competitive, you don't want to be the guy that enforces the rules. And Brandon Uhouse doing a great job here on Wednesday night. There you see the 11 car going to take that free pass. That's going to be Cody Parker rejoining the lead lap. A couple of guys down on pit road. The Thompsons, Kenny and Aaron, the 39 and the 19, both getting service on their machines. Are going to rejoin the field. Looks like they're still on the lead lap as well. So it's looking like the 16 and the 14, Zulo and Harmon, the first or the 2 cars, 1 lap down. They're all still chasing Sargent, though. The 55 car up front looks like he's going to choose that bottom side. Not quite 1 to go. As you can see, the lights are still on in the iRacing Pace truck, but that 55 car making it known. He wants that bottom side. The 03 of Wenzel going to be up top. Shippy, Stockwell, Roberts, the top 5. Carmen, Beecher, Huntoon, Boudreaux, and Buck, the top 10 as they run. A couple of big movers so far here tonight. Going to be Kason Hodgson and Dominic Lafleur. They're both up 5 spots, running in the 14th and the 15th positions right now, but heading in the right direction in a big way. Kind of moved in from the outside of the top 20 and have their sights set. Only 14 laps in, so moving up 5 positions or so. They're ready to rock and roll. Coming around, should be getting 1 to go this time by. Just taking a peek at the chat. Got to appreciate everybody for tuning in here tonight. A lot of Shippy fans out in the virtual stands here tonight. There you see the 51 car of Shippy running in 3rd. Going to restart in 3rd after qualifying there and running there almost all night so far. All 15 laps of racing competition so far here tonight on a Wednesday night. And looks like going to hold on to 2nd in the points championship. The driver up in front of him by 1 spot. It's going to be that 03 car of Wenzel clinched the championship here tonight by taking that green flag. So congratulations to the 03 car. The 51 car definitely a good fight all season long. And here we see a little bit more cat and mouse up in the front, trying to get someone to show their cards just a little bit early, but there you see the double line on the wall. The Geico restart zone is well in force, taking the stripe for lap number 16. Side by side as they head into one, coming out of two. The 55 has a bit of an advantage down on the bottom side, but Wenzel has shown all season long, oh, what a contact there between the 55 and the 03. The 03 has shown all season long. He's able to put that car in places that don't really make too much sense and make it go very, very quick. You can see right now trying to make that middle to high groove work. Gonna tuck into the tire tracks right now. Gonna try a little bit of a crossover. Had a little bit of steam that time by. Woo, that's a little bit more steam. Ducks out just a little bit so he doesn't run into the back of that 55 car. And get a tuck into the tire tracks for the time being. Little conveyor belt action up towards the front 10 or so, pretty much single file. These drivers know they've got a little bit of time here at Martinsville to make some magic happen, to get up towards the front, and they know they have to get there. They have to make their moves relatively early, but they do have a little bit of time to do their homework, do some planning, see what these drivers are doing that's getting them a little bit quicker than everybody else. And you can see right now that Sargent, really the only homework he's got to do is keeping an eye on that windshield and looking in that rearview mirror, because you can see the 03 car getting just a little bit smaller. It's still there, definitely for sure. And with that being said, closes right back up to the back bumper. But the 55 very strong off the corner. So you see coming off of turn number 4, was able to pull away by just a little bit, but the 03 car able to really drive down in onto the bottom side of the racetrack and gain that position right back. So cat and mouse all evening long, whether it's on the restarts or if it's under green flag racing. We're working lap number 20 here at Martinsville for the Lightning Chassis 175. Got about the 6th place last time around, and there you see Ryan Carmen still holding on to it. Not much changing here in the top 10. The Beecher machine, the 57 Sundrop ride, running in 7th. Cool onboard shot here in Martinsville. You can see those bright white gloves pretty much anywhere here at the racetrack. Love to see it in the real cars. Love to see it in the sim racing cars as well. Rodney Huntoon in the 47 car up a spot. There you see him running in the 8th position. The one car right on his back bumper. Sean Boudreau having a solid run up in the top 10. There's Kyle Buck in that 5 ride. Just broke into the top 10. Holding on to it. Kyle Kenny in behind him. That's that 54 car with Matthew Kimball a little bit further on back. The STP number 43. He's got a spot gain. Garen Benson in the 4 car. We'll take a look at his onboard shot. Getting on down into the corner. Little bit slick there. Little slick. Got to watch out for that bumper down to the bottom side of the car track as well, because we've seen many, many times that has upset the race cars, and it's upset a lot of drivers here as well. Here's a pair of Thompsons, the 19 car running in 14th. That's Aaron Casey Hodgson right in behind. Just getting around Kenny Thompson in the 39 car. We saw that 039 has gained a couple of spots here, 5 spots to be exact. Cody Parker in the 11 car got back in the lead lap there a few incidences ago. Dylan Gufalt Quinn in the 44 car back here, as well as Jimmy DeCourcy and Daniel Sweeney making mention. 20 cars still on the lead lap here. Lap 25 down, about 150 or so to go here at Martinsville. And once these drivers get into the rhythm, which it looks like they're getting close to it right now, you're going to be able to click off some laps relatively quick here at Martinsville. You'd never want to blink on a Wednesday night here on VidaneTV. You'll miss a big portion of the race. And here you see the 55 car just doing exactly what he needs to do. Getting down into the corner relatively smooth, getting down almost to that the little bump down around the bottom of the racetrack there, the speed bump as it were. And the 55 is a little bit further down the racetrack than the 03. You can see Wenzel was kind of shooting in with a late entry, trying to gain a little bit of momentum. And as these two drivers are kind of doing different lines, comparing things, the shipping machine, the 51, is able to kind of close right up to the back bumper, and it's bringing Stockwell with him. That bright green and black number 45 car running in the 4th position. Caden Roberts back there as well, and you can see it's still single file for the front 10, almost front 15 cars or so. A little conveyor belt action, and you can see there's actually a relatively big gap back there as well between the first pack and the second pack. We'll take a look. Here's a couple of drivers in that second pack. They're being led by Matthew Kimball in that 43 car, and you can see it's quite the gap back to Kyle Kenny, or back up there to rather Kyle Kenny, who is just on the tail end of this front pack, which is 11 cars long. And working lap number 30, this is where you're really able to kind of study, because you're able to almost see, you can only see the car right in front of you, but anytime the guy in front of that guy steps out of line, goes high, goes low, tries something a little bit different, you're able to kind of take a peek through either side of that driver's car. So you're kind of able to study more than one driver at a time, seeing what everybody's doing with their cars as they get into this run and as they get further and further into this set of tires. And right now, we're not seeing too much abuse to the equipment. Everybody's kind of minding their P's and Q's. We're a little single file doing some conveyor belt action here at the paperclip. But as this run gets longer, the handling is going to start going away as the tires start to go away here as well. So with that being said, guys are able to click off these quick lap times right now. They're able to get around no problems. They don't have to wrestle these cars too much. But as we get in that later on into a green flag run, we'll see. There are 2 sets of tires down on pit road that these drivers are able to utilize here tonight. At any given time, they could take them under green flag if they wanted to. Wouldn't recommend it because it does take a long time for these late model teams to get these tires swapped out. So a lot of times on these short tracks, even under caution, you'll see drivers come down. They'll take right side tires and then they'll come back down next lap by to take the left hand side tires, just because it takes so long to get those tires on there. Late model teams not quite in the or they're not quite rather the cup teams and the truck teams. So they still learning, still new to the industry and of the sim racing pit crews. So it takes them a little bit of time to try and get the tires on, but they always get it done here in the iRacing world. And if you like what you see, if you want to check this out, definitely check out iRacing.com. iRacing.com with a monthly subscription, you can check out a lot of the short track racing, and you really never know who you're going to jump into a session with, which is cool. You've got anybody from Dale Earnhardt Jr. to a 16-year-old getting done with their English homework, as they used to say back when iRacing first came out. Lots of different personalities, styles of racing, and you never know who you're going to bump into. And it's a great way to kind of bridge the gap between the sim racing community and the real racing community. And we do that here quite often here at VidaneTV. Taking a little bit of time off as we're going to be heading down to Florida for the U.S. Nationals winter race down there at Citrus. That's going to be a whole lot of fun, and really looking forward to that. But with all the iRacing leagues that we work with here, up here in the Northeast, New England area, Maritime Canada, it's cool to see a lot of the real paint schemes, a lot of the real late model paint schemes are in the iRacing service. And some of these guys are racing paint schemes that are very similar to cars that they work on or cars that they drive in real life. And that's one of the cool things here with VidaneTV, and being able to go out to the racetrack and hang out and wear a VidaneTV shirt. Everybody says, hey, what's going on, Showtime? And so, cool, we got some fanfare. Awesome. Which is also a good segue into the virtual merchandise trailer. Be sure to shoot on over there to Vidane.net, www.vidane.net. Grab a hooded sweatshirt. Grab you one of those beanies with the poof ball up on top of them. $30 will get one of those neatly, nicely embroidered. We got a lot of t-shirts over there as well. All sorts of different brands hooked up with us here at VidaneTV. Vidane.net. And I believe you can use promo code Liberty for 10% off at checkout, as the Liberty Racing League, they're going to be coming back to us here in a couple of weeks on Wednesday night for their championship run. We were going to try and cover their playoffs here. They're racing tonight, but they're going to be finished up about the same time as the Turn 4 Podcast Winter Racing Series is getting wrapped up. They're actually racing right now, as it were. So 2 more races in that series next week we won't be able to cover because I'll be down in Florida, but the week after that, their championship race. Be sure to check that out. A little super speedway action if you wanted to take a peek at it. Trucks at Daytona for their championship, and the winner gets a championship belt. How cool is that? Right now, though, working lap number 42, still the 55 all the way up front. You can see relatively clean racetrack up in front, not having to deal with lap traffic. But when you're clicking off lap times like the 55 car is, you got to figure that lap traffic going to be coming up here relatively soon. And there you see, into the corner, as soon as he gets into the straightaway, you can see there's another car there. So that gives the 55 something to kind of shoot for. It gives him another goal to kind of keep focused on. Wants to get up to that lap car and doesn't necessarily have to be on defense. Doesn't have to look into the rearview mirror and try and work on blocking the 03 car. Doesn't have to worry about it too much, though, because we are under caution for the 3rd time here at lap number 44. Take a peek here at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay, and there you see the 15 just getting in a little bit too hot. Got the 12 car up and around, and ooh, close to the 11, but no cigar. And looks like able to grab a gear, get going once again, but going to lose a lot of track position in that 12 car. Getting it all sorted out. And we'll just jump to the live shot. And we knew it was going to get itself sorted out. 12 car, though, Daniel Sweeney going to lose a lap after spinning out in that one. Going to be the first car 1 lap down, so hoping for a quick caution to get back out on the lead lap. Everybody else, though, going to get lined up behind the pace truck here on lap number 46. AC Bubba's up in the flag stand, letting everybody know that we're under caution. And Jimmy DeCourcy did take that 74 car down pit road. Looks like the only taker on pit road right now for the time being. And these drivers know they've only got those 2 sets of tires here at Martinsville, and there's not really any sense straightening out too much of the virtual sheet metal because you're gonna get more damage. That's just seems to be how it works out here with these late models and with these short tracks. You do a little beating and banging, and 8 tires turns better than 4, and 16 tires turns better than 8, and so on and so forth. Lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. There you see the base truck going to take the safety turn down onto the safety of pit road, the left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road, leaving these drivers out on track 2 by 2, waiting for that green flag from the flag stand. And there you see it, the 03 car wants to go, tries to jump, but backs back down. The 55 of Sargent sees it. He's able to take advantage and get a good restart, get a good jump there on get the whole shot, as it were, on the 03 car. Going to put him side by side now with Skylar Shippey, who's going to take a look down on the bottom side in that 51 car, give him a little bit of a nudge, get him up out of the way. The 51 car trying to hold on to it down on the bottom side of the racetrack, crossing the stripe here for lap number 51. You can see the 51 has the advantage, but that 03 has really been able to work that high side to at least hold on. Hasn't been losing much ground in that high side, but here you can see Stockwell's going to take that shot down the bottom side. The 51 going to try and slide on up in front of the 03 car. The 03 car is there. They are touching that 03 car, pushing into the 51 car, pushes him up out of the way, slides on down in front of Stockwell in that 45 car. I don't think anybody lifted, but they made it work. Heads up driving by all these drivers up in the top 5, and this is why we like putting on a show here on a Wednesday night with these Turf Front 4 podcast Winter iRacing Series. There's the 03 car tucking back into the tire tracks of that 02 car. There's contact. The 45 car gets into the 03, has to check up, and nowhere for anybody else to go in behind. Calamity ensues. Caution flag number 4 here on lap number 53. We'll take a peek at it at U-House Racing Designs instant replay from high atop the racetrack, and it started a little chain reaction up towards the front. We'll do this one in slow motion. As you see, we cross the stripe. We're shooting on down into turn number 1. The 03 car wanted to try and take the position, the 45 car saw a little bit of an open down on the bottom side, tried to shoot up in there. There's the contact. 45 checks up, and there you see everybody in front, or behind rather, not enough time to react. So the 45 car was able to hold on to the spot. Going to take this time to come down pit road though and get that some of that damage worked on, because he got bumped around like a I don't know. You can stay out on track there. A couple of other drivers so coming down pit road. JD Stockwell may very well be penalized. There we go. Getting sent to the back of the pack. And that might be a good opportunity to maybe come down and throw some fuel in that thing. But getting causing the caution, getting sent to the back of the pack. So we're going to have to see what that 45 car will be able to do and how many cars will be able to pass. Still relatively early in this one. Working lap number 55 with 175 on the docket for the evening. Drivers getting antsy in this one. You can see everybody already lined up 2 by 2 behind the pace truck. Lights still on top of that pace truck. Should be getting the one to go this time by. You can see the Sargent machine, the 55, going to take that bottom once again. And we can see Skylar Shippey going to restart in a second for the first time. Getting around that 03 car just barely. Wenzel going to hold on to that third spot. Going to restart there in the bottom. Justin Beecher in fourth. Sean Boudreau, Kyle Buck up near the top 5, exchanging that spot back and forth. Kason Hodgson up 12 spots in 17th or in 7th right now. Garrett Benson in the 4 car up in 8th. Matthew Kemble, Cody Parker, and Kenny Thompson, it looks like, the top 10 as we run. Lights out on the iRacing pace truck. 1 to go, well, half a lap to go before we take that green flag once again here at Martinsville for the Lightning Chassis 175. Great restarts all night long from the 55 car. There's the 03 right on the back bumper, ready to go as soon as that 55 drops that hammer, making everybody wait for it. There you see it. Green flag flies once again. The 55 going to get the whole shot just a little bit. The 51 holding on tough up on the top side, but the 55 going to get away, drift up the track, and hold on to the top spot. The 51 just barely, nope, not going to be able to do it. Not enough room to slide on down in front of the 03 car. Here comes the champ, Nathan Wenzel, in that 03 car. Going to try and take something from the bottom. No, going to tuck it to the tire tracks and settle for third for the time being. The Sundrop machine, Justin Beecher in the 57 car, trying to make his way up into that podium spot. He's up a handful of spots into the top 5 right now, and you can already see the top 10, 15 cars or so doing that conveyor belt action thing that they do here at Martinsville. Sean Boudreau, Kyle Buck up in 5th and 6th. Kason Hodgson done. We made mention of a whole bunch of spots in the top 10. Garrett Benson, JD Stockwell, after restarting the back of the pack, has driven around a lot of cars, already breaking in to the top 10. There you can see taking away the 9th position from the 43 car of Matthew Kimball and setting his sights on the drivers up in front of him to get back up into the top 5. But up front, they're still chasing the 55 car. Jeremiah Sargent has the lead here on lap number 62. Shippey taking a peek up onto the high side of the racetrack. Nothing quite there. Going to scrape the wall just a little bit, it looked like. We're going to tuck back into the tire tracks. Doesn't even look like it slowed down the 51 car. Made it look like it actually sped that thing up just a bit. You can tuck into the tire tracks of the 55 for right now. Nathan Wenzel dropping back just a little bit, 2-3 car lengths between second and third. And as soon as I say that, he closes that gap just a little bit. The 51 car taking a peek down low, trying to get some fresh air on the nose of that thing. And you can see going to drive hard into the corner all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack, but nothing quite there. Not quite enough to get up around that 55 car of Sargent. And a great shot there towards the back of the pack as these drivers start to get into this run a little bit more. It's starting to stretch out once again. You can see great shot there of that straightaway, just showing that everybody kind of lined up bumper to bumper throughout the racetrack here. One car up into the high groove. I believe that's the 4 car of Benson. We'll double check on that. But great racing all the way around here. You can see there's a lot of different lines that these drivers are trying to utilize here at Martinsville, and not all of them work, we've noticed. Not all of them work. Chippy going to take a peek down low, seeing if anything there. You can see has the door open. The 55, though, able to shut that door once again, and not quite enough there. The 51 is Chippy driving it hard into the corner that time to see if he can make a little bit of something happen, but the door got closed by Sargent in that 55 car. We'll see if we can take a look at the onboard of the 51. There's those bright white gloves that we've seen all season long, giving it a little bit of a wiggle coming out of turn number 2, hard on to that rev chip as soon as he gets to the back of the end of the straightaways rather. There you see, just really able to slide that car around the racetrack and really able to send it deep. It looks like he's driving that thing a lot deeper than the 55 car is. Big wiggle there from the back of the race car, but doing a great job sawing on that wheel and holding on to it. The 51 car trying to get back to the back bumper of the 55. You can see about a 2/10 or so gap between first and second. He's got room to work. It's about another half a second or so back to the 03 car of Wenzel. And you can see they're actually pulling away from that third place spot. There you can see a big wiggle from the 57 car, holds back onto it. Beach are able to hold on to the 4th spot for now. Taking a glimpse around the racetrack and trying to focus on this lead battle as well. Shippy wants that lead. He wants to take care of it now before we get to the halfway marker. You can see Shippy working the back bumper of the 55 car. Going to get another little bit of time to think about it, though, because caution flag flies here on lap 70. Take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay, find out what went down, and we'll take a peek a little bit further on back in the pack here. You see the 008 car gets into the 12, gets checked up, and the 039 car of Thompson had nowhere to go, unfortunately. Gets a little bit of a tap. Looks like going to end the night there for the 008 as well. Tough break for him, and this is going to get a couple of drivers down on pit road. Justin Beecher going to give up 4th position, going to come down and get potentially some tires. There you see a handful of drivers in behind here as well. Garrett Benson, Matthew Kimball, Cody Parker, Aaron Thompson, Ryan Carmen, Kenny Thompson. So about half of the lead lap cars coming down here on lap number 72. Not quite halfway here in this 175 laps championship night here. In the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. So a little extra distance, 50 extra laps on the board here tonight. There's a 2-tire stop for Thompson in the 039, already down and away. There's the left side getting jacked up for the Benson ride. It looks like the same for the 42 and the 19, so it's going to be 4 tires for those drivers here as well. We'll see if they'll help them out, and that's going to be something that a lot of these guys are going to be keeping an eye on up towards the front, just how much quicker these 72-lap tires, or just how much slower, rather, these 72-lap tires, 73-lap tires are going to be up towards the front, because it looks like everybody in the top 11 stayed out. Top 9 stayed out. Kenny Thompson was the first driver off pit road with 2 tires in the 039. He's going to restart in 10th. I believe Kyle Kenny took 2 tires as well in the 54. Then everybody from the 4 car, Garrett Benson on back in 12th, took 4 tires as we saw. So a little bit of mixed strategy here, just shy of the halfway marker, and the drivers that came down this time by, they know that they've got one more set down on pit road, so they very well could split this race into 3, and there's a lot of different ways we can get there before we get to the end of it. Got to give a shout out to everybody tuned in throughout the internet, trying to take over, as it were. We're live on Facebook for VidaneTV. We're live on the VidaneTV YouTube page as well. That's where the money is. If you got a smart TV or anything really with the YouTube app, pull us up, do a quick search for VidaneTV Live on that YouTube app, and pull us up on the big screen. Crystal clear imaging as always, and looks pretty cool, and it's always cool to see VidaneTV on the big screens. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter as well. Lots of 51 fans in the virtual stands here tonight. And the big question is, has DJ wrecked yet? Well, DJ's not in the field here tonight, so no. DJ, he must be on vacation, as it were. But lights out in the iRacing pace truck, lined up 2x2. And Jeremiah Sargent, been the master of the restarts all night long, taking that bottom side here as well. And we've seen all night long that 55 car is making this field wait. There you see the double red lines there on the inner pace wall. There's the red one. He waits right until that red line before he punches that gas. And it's we might see that get a little bit mixed up later on, trying a little bit of strategy later on in this one. Might be trying to shake it up just a little bit. But there you can see the front three get sorted out relatively quickly. They know that they've got fresh tires in the back of the pack, and those guys are going to be coming. They want to make sure that they take as much time as they can to try and get around some of the drivers in the back or in the middle of the pack, because once those tires wear off and everybody gets even once again, they'll be able to race just a little bit better. But from the time being, it's going to be a monstrous runs, and it looks like there's those two packs once again. 6, 7, 8, 9 cars kind of breaking away. That 43 car of Matthew Kimball kind of leading the second pack here, and you can see that's a handful of the guys that have taken 4 tires. They're already up towards the front. There's the 4 car of Benson. Big damage on the front of that car, it looks like, but still running quick with those fresh tires. There's the 15 of Hodgson. Moving on up as well, J.D. Stockwell having a good recovery in that 45 car after getting sent to the back after an earlier incident. The 1 side-by-side with the 5. Sean Boudreau, Kyle Buck going back and forth. There you see a little trade and paint action. And the 5 car going to take the spot. The 1 going to tuck into the tire track. So that's your 4th and 5th spot. There you see the champ, the 03 car running in 3rd. A little bumper car action going on. No big deal. 1 car going to try and take a shot down on the bottom side. Not quite there, but going to make it work. Going to try and make it work. Here comes the 45 of Stockwell down in behind. He's not sure which driver he wants to push, but he wants these guys to figure it out. Wants to get them sorted out single file so the 45 can get down and around. That Stockwell machine looking pretty sporty here. A little side-by-side action between he and Buck in that 5 car. Trying to get that side-by-side battle dealt with. Oh, there you see I believe that's a 15 car. Hard up into the outside wall. Casey Hodgson getting some damage there. Stuck on that middle to high groove there as the 11 going to take advantage and move on through. Great recovery for Cody Parker. 1 lap down here at one point earlier on. Got the free pass up into the top 10 here. As you can see, just getting around Casey Hodgson for that 10th spot. The 15 car seems to be off the pace after getting up into the outside wall, trying to shake it down and figure out what that car needs, but going to regather his thoughts and get back after it once again. Everybody still chasing that 55 car, though, of Jeremiah Sargent with Shippy. That 51 car all over the back bumper. He's just waiting for the 55 to make a mistake, and you can see these two have pulled away by quite a good margin, about a full second on back to the 03 car of Wenzel. Still battling up front. I'm taking a peek around the racetrack just to see what we got going on. A little 4-car pack here. This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. They've got it all sorted out. They're running single file. A little bit of a gap from Kyle Buck on back to Rodney Huntoon in the 47 car, but you can see he's leading another little 4-car pack here. Garrett Benson, 4 fresh tires, up to 8th right now, and that's huge. Passed about 10 cars after coming back out on the track to get his 4 fresh tires under that last caution flag. Matthew Kimball in the 43 car, Cody Parker in the 11, running in the 10th spot. Aaron Thompson, Ryan Carmen in 11th and 12th. Kason Hodgson back, Kason Hodgson down in the outside wall, unfortunately, bringing the caution flag out for the 6th time here tonight on lap number 87. You can see the 08 car had some issues there as well. So we'll take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and see what went down between these drivers. There's a 008 getting on by on your screen. It looks like a little side-by-side action. And there's a little bit of a bump. The 008 gets into the car up in front, and the 039 tries to check up, and nowhere for the 039 car to go. Gets up and sent on around. So that's a tough break for a handful of drivers towards the back, and you can see the 15 car going to come down. Good opportunity for the 15 car to come down, get some of that damage worked on from getting up into the wall just a few laps ago. Really seemed to upset the handling on that car, and it looks like we've got ourselves some split decisions. Skylar Shippey going to stay out, it looks like. Nathan Wenzel, the champ, going to come down pit road, as does Jeremiah Sargent, giving up the lead. Kyle Buck and the 5 going to come down pit road here, as well as Kyle Kenny, Jimmy DeCourcy, and Kason Hodgson still down there getting some of that damage worked on. So once again, we got maybe a third, maybe a half or so of the lead lap cars coming down pit road, and that's going to add a big mix to the tire strategy. We got a lot of drivers that are out there on the original tires. We've got some that came down under that last caution, and we've got some drivers that are out there getting ready to have fresh rubber. There you see it, the front 3 have not been down pit road yet this evening, and that's going to be Shippey, Boudreau, and Stockwell. Up to third. Great recovery for the 45 car. Been about 34 laps since Huntoon came down pit road. Benson came down 17 laps or so ago, as did pretty much everybody, 5th on back to 10th. And everybody else, you see Wenzel, Buck, Sargent, they're all coming down. Hodgson down on pit road for the first time. Sweeney pitted on lap 10, it looks like, maybe lap 9 earlier on. So differing tire strategies throughout the field, it looks like, and this also is another idea or where these drivers are going to get an idea what they want to do later on in this race, because if they're able to kind of focus on what's going on, if they're able to kind of get their crew chief to see what these other cars are doing out on track after having 80 lap tires, 90 lap tires, after 25 lap tires that we see a handful full of drivers do, and how these fresh brand new tires are going to kind of react in the field as they come on through as well. So lots of different things to worry about throughout the field here on the iRacing service, and well, that's why this guy's up here in the production trailer yelling into a microphone and pushing a bunch of buttons, because there's a lot to think about in these virtual race cars. And you can see they're lining them up 2 by 2 already. Should be getting the 1 to go this time by. We'll take a peek at the top of that iRacing pace truck to see if those lights go out once we get to the line here. Should be getting a restart with on lap number 93. So just past the halfway marker here in the championship edition of the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. Lightning Chassis 175 here at Martinsville Speedway. And the 03 car of Nathan Wenzel pretty much gathered up the championship with the green flag, locked everything up, was able to score, or no matter where he finishes in the field here tonight, will be able to score enough points to walk away with that championship. And there you see the guy in second in points, Skylar Shippey, holding on to the lead right now. Lots of Shippey fans out in the virtual stands here on a Wednesday night. Fan favorite for sure. Wants to spoil that championship party, wants to come home with the win here in the extra distant race. 50 extra laps on the docket here tonight to show that we are having ourselves a championship night. 51 car down on the bottom side. Little bit of a sloppy restart, it looks like, for that entire high line, but they're going to get it sorted out. Front 3 single file as they head into 1. J.D. Stockwell moving into second position as the yellow flag comes out once again. A handful of drivers pointed in the wrong direction towards the back of the pack here on lap number 94. Going up to U-House Racing Designs instant replay to take a peek. Looks like the 15, everything A-OK. 3 wide up in front of the 15 and gets hooked, it looks like. It's sent on around and pointed in the wrong direction. We'll back that up one more time. There you see almost 3 wide up in front. 3 wide and then almost 3 wide again up in front. Big slide for DeCourcy in the 74 car. Gets it all sorted out. There's a little 3 wide action. Trying to get everything sorted out when you see a guy almost wreck in front of you, that's tough, because you don't really know where to go and you don't really know how everybody else is going to react in that one. So tough break for the 15 car. Going to have to gather it back up. Looks like the Hodgson ride was the first car 1 lap down, so I believe maybe getting the free pass here. We'll double check on that. But nope, there you see Zulo in the 16 car. He's going to get the free pass as he drives around the pace truck and rejoins the field here. So Skylar Shippey up front. JD Stockwell joins the podium once again. He's going to be finishing, or going to be running rather, in the second spot. Great recovery after getting sent to the back after an earlier caution. Sean Boudreau in the one car having a solid run up in third right now. Those three drivers have not been down pit road for tires yet here this evening. Sean Boudreau going to hold on to fourth. Rodney Huntoon in the fifth position. Garrett Benson, oh, check that. Garrett Benson's going to be in the fifth position. Matthew Kemble slowly, methodically working his way up towards the front, running in sixth. Cody Parker in the 11 car running in seventh. Aaron Thompson, Justin Beecher, and Nathan Wenzel running in the top 10 as they run. Kyle Kenny, Kyle Buck, Ryan Carmen, Jimmy DeCourcy, and Jeremiah Sargent going to be restarting back in 15th. And it looks like Kenny Thompson in the 039 car going to rejoin the lead lap here as well. And already lined up 2x2 once again. These drivers antsy. They want to get back to it. They're going to try and tell this pace car to shut those lights off. We want to go back racing. Should be getting a 1 to go once we come around this time by. That light's still on top of the iRacing pace car. Gonna give him another lap here to get things sorted out. We're live all over the place. Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you're watching, please, please, please be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a share, and a follow. And like that video lets the algorithm know that you like some iRacing action here on a Wednesday night. Here we go. Lights out on the iRacing pace truck. Going to take the hard left turn to the safety of pit road here once we get into turn 3 and 4 and turn these drivers loose once again. Going to take the restart here on lap number 99. 76 laps to go here in this championship race. The Lightning Chassis 175 here at the virtual Martinsville Speedway. Glad you're with us and glad you're going to be tuning in here to the second half of this race. A little bit into the second half, but still the second half nonetheless. Green flag flies once again. Side by side as they go into one. Stockwell going to drop back just a little bit. Great onboard shot here with that 45. You saw a little bit of a wiggle, but tucks back into the tire tracks of the leader. Bounces it off the rev chip and sends it on in down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to catch back up to the back bumper of Shippey. Shippey is pulling away here at this point, crossing the stripe for lap number 100. Stockwell in the tire tracks, but sliding back just a little bit. The 03 car of Wenzel is there as well. Rodney Huntoon, Garrett Benson, the top 5. And one of the things I'm not seeing right now from these top 3 drivers is anybody slowing down. These guys are on old tires, and almost the entire rest of the field here is on fresher tires, and they aren't really able to catch this 51 or the 45 or the 03 car for that matter. Shippey's been quick all season long, been very, very fast here all night, especially at Martinsville, and trying to spoil the championship party. The 03 car locking it up with the drop of the green flag here tonight with the 32 points lead that he came into the night with. So Shippey trying to spoil the party, trying to take a little bit of that spotlight away, get himself another victory here in that 51 car. And I believe if he does win tonight, he'll be the only driver with 3 wins here on the season. Very dominant throughout the season here. Another onboard shot from the 45 car. Just listen to that thing bounce off the rev chip at the end of the straightaways here. Just really making these late models work around this paperclip. Front 3 checked out. They are gone. Driving off into the sunset. Rodney Huntoon holding on to a very comfortable 4th position right now. Boss Man in the 4 car here in the 5th spot. One of the biggest movers. He's up 11 spots. And the biggest mover is the 11 car right in behind him, up 12 spots from qualifying. That's 11 car, Cody Parker. Great recovery after being a lap down here earlier on, holding on to that 6th spot, trying to get 5th. Taken away from Garrett Benson. Matthew Kemble in a 43 car in behind there, and in a little bit of calamity here. What is that, 4 wide, 5 wide almost, 3 wide at least? They get it all sorted out. Oh, no, they don't. They get almost all of it sorted out. 1 car up into the fence. I believe that was going to be the 57 of Justin Beecher, but we'll back that up once again and take a look at the instant replay. Well, that was mid-incident there. I feel like we had a couple of things that may have brought this one out. Here's the original incident. 57 gets a little loosey-goosey. Might have had a little bit of help here. Getting on down into turn number 1. You can see tries to take a peek down to the 03. Not quite there. Gets a shot in the shorts. Getting on down in it to turn number 1. Gathers it back up. You can see car up into the wall. A little 3-wide action here. They touch there. Buck tries to come down. The 57 tries to kind of drive across everybody's nose and just may not have seen the 3 cars down on the bottom side. Spins out on the nose of that thing and brings out the caution flag, and he brings out an opportunity for the rest of the leaders to come down pit road here. So this is going to be interesting. They know that the tire wear was affecting the handling of those cars. Doesn't show by the stopwatch by any stretch of the imagination, but they knew they had to come down at some point to get some tires. There you see the right side's getting jacked up on the Stockwell and the shipping machine. Sean Boudreau, Aaron Thompson, Kenny Thompson, and Case and Hodgson all down on pit road here on lap 108. So that is another monkey wrench into the plans for a lot of these drivers. Ryan Carmen going to come back and rejoin the field. Justin Beecher, there you see, getting back out there as well. Jimmy DeCourcy in the 74 car back up into the top 10. And let's reset it. Let's take a look at these leaders, and let's take a look at when they came down pit road here. You can see Huntoon's been out there for a minute, 54 laps on that set. You can see a lot of these drivers have run 87, 94 laps. 107 is what we ran just now for those 3 drivers that just gave up the top 3 spots. So a little bit of life left in those tires. We'll see what the lap times look like for that 47 car. Benson, Parker, and Kimball came down 37 laps ago. 20 laps ago for the champ in 5th there for Wenzel. So differing tire strategies throughout. And one of the crazy things, the way the drivers are all lined up right now and the way that everything is kind of worked out with these pit stops, Shippy's going to restart in 9th, it looks like, with 4 fresh tires. As a couple of drivers came back down pit road, it looks like, to get some of the damage taken care of on these cars. There's a 16 of Dylan Zulo. Justin Beach are going to rejoin the field. Sweeney and Hodgson still getting some damage worked on there as well. You can see right sides or left sides going on to that 12 car. So everybody rejoining the field here, lining them up 2 by 2. A couple of, or a handful of drivers up towards the front that haven't been there yet this evening. And a couple of big movers. Garrett Benson in second is up 14 spots. Cody Parker up 15 spots. And the other big mover going to be Jimmy DeCourcy in that 74 car. He is also up 15 spots here at Martinsville. 1 to go. Lights off in the iRacing Pace truck. Everybody is, in fact, lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Going to get that restart on lap 112 here at Martinsville for the Lightning Chassis 175 Championship Edition here of the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. We thank you guys so much for tuning in all season long, and we are thrilled to be able to cap this thing off with a champion. And there you see the champ back there warming up the tires. Going to restart in a P5. Nathan Wenzel able to capitalize on the drop of the green flag and able to cash in that championship. So might be leaving here with a little bit of hardware, and you can see we're lined up 2 by 2. Huntoon and Benson the top 2, and green flag flies at Martinsville. Side by side as they get on down into turn number 1. Huntoon going to pull away by a car length. And the 4 car of Benson seems to be struggling just a little bit on the outside line. Here comes Parker in the 11 car. Here comes the 03 car. Everybody down on the bottom side. Oh, the 11 has to check up. So does the 03. Everybody else down on that bottom side. Here comes Shippy all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack with those 4 fresh tires. Just past about 6 cars in one turn. Shippy's coming. Shippy is in that 6th spot. Gets around J.D. Stockwell. Stockwell came down pit road with him as well. So that 45 car is bad fast, and he's got 4 fresh tires as well. A little side-by-side action. Jeremiah Sargent going to take a peek down low and see if he can get up into it. The 03 car right in front as well. Going to try and get himself the championship and a podium finish here on VidaneTV. Slow car down on the bottom side. We stay clean and green for the time being. Working lap number 115 when they cross the stripe. Shippy taking a look down on the bottom side once again. Going to get around the 4 car of Benson and try and brake. And, well, doesn't have to try anymore. Breaks back in to the top 5. That spells danger for the rest of the field. Jeremiah Sargent now all over the back bumper of the 03 of Wenzel, trying to get around because he knows that 51 car of Shippey is coming in a hurry. He's got fresh tires, and he's got J.D. Stockwell in behind him there as well that wants to take away any spot that he can get a little bit closer to the front. You can see they are bumper to bumper from third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. A little bit of a bump there on the 03 car. Hit those speed bumps down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Upset the car by a lot. You can see kind of moved up the racetrack. And now the 55 of Sargent going to try and take a peek down low. Great onboard shot of the side-by-side battle, bouncing off that rev limiter. There's a little bit of a tap, nothing too crazy. 55 car going to hold on to the spot for the time being. Huntoon and Parker still having themselves a battle up towards the front. Right now, Parker tucked into the tire tracks. We're going to focus in on this third place battle here as Sargent going to slide up in front of the 03 car. The Shippey machine, though, going to take a look down on the bottom side. Just had enough of the door open for the 51 to slide on in and try and utilize those 4 fresh tires on that car. There you see the 03 car trying to close that door, trying to get back down to the bottom side of the racetrack, but nothing quite there except for the 51 car. You can see really holding on to that spot, and there's another little bit of a bump between these two guys as they're side by side. Stockwell is right there. He's got a great view of this battle. These drivers side by side, that bright green 45 car holding on to the spot. Let's take a look at the onboard shot. Best view in the house of this battle up in front. The sliding there in the back end of the car, but able to hold on to it and get pointed in the right direction. There you see the 45 going to give a shot to the 03 car, get down and around, and the 51 had everything he needed to get down and around as well. Shippey now sets his sight on the 55 of Sargent. Those two were back and forth in the first and second position earlier on here tonight, and they are getting close to it once again, getting to the 50-point lap in 50 to go point in this race. And this is going to be interesting. We haven't seen this kind of distance all season long. We usually cap these races here at 125 laps in the Winter iRacing Series, but being it's a championship night, we wanted to go the extra distance, tacked on an extra 50 laps here at Martinsville Speedway, and it's going to be exciting. I believe everybody can make it on fuel, but do you want to go the distance on this set of tires? As we've got a couple of drivers that just came down here within 10, 15, 20 laps or so, but we've got some drivers that have been out there for 40, 50, 60 laps on this set of tires. We started the night, we had 2 sets of tires down on pit road. Some have used both sets of tires, some have only used one, some have only used a half a set, as we've seen a couple of drivers have been out there with just the 1-2 tire stop. Lots of different strategies throughout the field here. Front 2 still single file. Ronnie Huntoon holding on to it, crossing the stripe, leading himself another lap here with 50 laps to go in that 47 car. Cody Parker, fantastic recovery for that 11 car. Was a lap down early on in this one. Caught the free pass, was able to get back onto the lead lap, and currently running in the second position and driving away from third, it looks like, as those two drivers have kind of hooked up, the 51 and the 55. That's a dangerous combo, as those two cars are very, very quick. You can see the 51 car almost pushing the 55 in the straightaways there. Going to take a look down on the bottom side, get some fresh air on the nose, and try and dive on down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Not quite enough there for the 51 of Shippey, but still has some time to do some work. Working 127 here of 175 on the docket here. A little bit of a connection issue for the 55 car of Jeremiah Sargent. It's going to be something that's going to factor in, potentially could factor in to this one, and that's tough when a driver blinks out like that. You never know when or where they're gonna resurface onto the racetrack. So tough thing for Shippey to try and deal with right now, but doing the best that he can. Holding on to the 4th spot. You can see he's got a little bit of breathing room now between he and that 45 car of J.D. Stockwell, and they've got a bunch of breathing room back to Nathan Wenzel after that big slide there 5 laps or so ago. That 03 car looks to be struggling with the handling, and you can see sliding back just a little bit further. Matthew Kimball, great run here tonight. Slowly making his way up towards the top of the pack. 7th position for Matthew Kimball. Garrett Benson back in the 4 car, the 57 of Sean Boudreau, or check that, Justin Beecher, and the 57 car. That's Sean Boudreau in the 1 car. 1 car further on back. A little bit of calamity back here. Still racing hard, just outside the top 10, trying to get themselves into the top 10, but you can see pretty much single file. Little conveyor belt action here at Martinsville. All chasing down this guy, that 47 car of Rodney Huntoon finding himself up towards the front, up in the front, and leading laps here under green flag conditions. There you see Shippey going to take a look down on the bottom side of Sargent in the 55 once again, and going to tuck back into the tire tracks of that 55 car to wait to see if Sargent's going to make a mistake, and we haven't seen many mistakes up towards the front. So we have seen a couple of incidences where drivers may not have checked up. They didn't react to the car up in front, but they still were able to hold on to it. And we haven't really had any big wrecks throughout the night that we're so accustomed to seeing here with the virtual Martinsville. And these drivers are putting on a heck of a show here for us. Pardon me. Putting on a heck of a show here for us, part of our winter iRacing schedule here. And as it starts to get warm and all this snow starts to melt, we're going to be doing less and less iRacing and more real racing, which necessarily isn't a bad thing. Always cool to be heading out to the real racetracks, and it's going to be cool to be able to see some of these guys at the real racetrack and gals at the real racetracks that you see a lot of in the iRacing world and in the VidaneTV world as well. Tight-knit community for sure. Huntoon is driving off into the sunset in that 47 car. It seems like the 47 car is getting better. The 11 car is getting a little bit slower, and it's starting. You can see the 11 of Parker slowly starting to fall into the grips of the 55, the 51, and the 45. And that's not to say that the 11 car is slowing down any. I think these guys are back a little bit further on back are speeding up. We've seen that 51 car has had speed all night long. The 45 car at Stockwell as well. Been through the field twice. Got penalized earlier on for an incident that caused a yellow flag earlier on. Had to get sent to the back of the pack. Drove all the way back up through the field, and with a good pit stop finds himself just outside the top 5 in at 6th right now. Garrett Benson there in 7th. Justin Beecher and Sean Brudeau the top 10 as they run with 38 laps to go here at Martinsville. And we may mention these laps click off pretty quick once you see the driver up in front of you getting things clicked off here. Taking a look at the lap times from last time by, 20.11 for Huntoon and Sargent, 20.08 there for Parker, 20.10 for Shippey, 08 for Stockwell. About the same this time by. Oh, 11 car up and around. Caution flag flies. That was our second place car. Cody Parker up and around. Going to have to take a peek at the replay because I was too busy looking at numbers. So we'll back that up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We made mention the 11 car sliding back just a little bit. There you see they cross the stripe. Oh, just a shot. Just a shot from the 55 car. Sends them on around. Going to have to take another look at that one. I want to take a look at that one from a little bit closer because there was that was almost a haymaker. Focus in on the 11 car. Here comes the 55 up on the high side of the track. And yeah, I don't know. That was a shot from the 55 car. Handful of drivers coming down pit road for this one. Huntoon and Shippey going to stay out. Nathan Wenzel going to be the first driver to come down pit road. Jeremiah Sargent, he's going to stay out, which is kind of intriguing because he just hit the front of that car and the back of the 11 car a ton. So I would imagine there's some nose damage on that ride, but we will we'll see what happens there. JD Stockwell going to stay out on track. There's the 19 car of Thompson going around getting a free pass. Sean Boudreau and the 1 car going to stay out. So the top 5 stayed out. Everybody else came down pit road. There you see the right sides going on for the 03 car. We'll take a quick second here while we're here to see if he goes up with the left sides. No, 2 tires only for the 03 car of Nathan Wenzel. Here comes Kenny Thompson in the 039. He's going to come down here as well with 2 tires. Looks like everybody else has 4. There you can see the left-hand sides going up for the 03, or the 08 rather. This is the 16 Azulo. There's the 11 car. Cody Parker going to lose a whole bunch of track position after getting bumped out of the way there to bring out this most recent caution. And it's tough to tell what we're going to see on this restart because we haven't really seen too much tire wear throughout throughout this one. We'll take a look. We saw that they were running about 20.0s, 20.1s here at Martinsville, and if you look at the best times, okay, yeah, so they're about 4/10 slower. You can see a 19.5 blistering lap for Stockwell. I believe that's the quickest lap anyone's run all night long, but 19.6s, 19.7s There you see a 19.8 for Wenzel. So they're 2 or 3 tenths slower with these slower tires as they get into this one. In different conditions here as well. You always have a little bit better conditions when you get that quick lap time. So something to focus on for sure. The top 5 did not come down pit road to get tires. There's a handful of drivers that have 2, Wenzel and Thompson. I believe the 54 car of Kenny may also have 2 tires. Everybody else has 4 getting on into this one. So this is going to be a crazy finish. Getting down to it, close to 30 laps to go, 33 if my math is correct. And this is kind of no man's land for these drivers. We made mention earlier on here tonight, we usually run 125 laps here on Wednesday nights with the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. But being that it's a championship event here tonight, gotta give the fans a show. So, we added 50 laps to it, and these drivers not sure what to do with it, it seems. A couple of drivers up towards the front, they're just all business as usual, but there's a lot of different strategies into this one that we didn't necessarily have to think about earlier on in this one. You got to make sure that you come down pit road, get fuel halfway through. You got to make sure that the tire management is set there, and you've got the opportunity to potentially throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into the system when you've got yourself that extra set of tires down on pit road. 2 sets of tires on pit road. There goes the pace truck, speaking of pit road, going to take that hard left-hand turn and turn these drivers loose. Once again, taking the green flag here at Martinsville for lap number 144. 31 laps to go here at Martinsville. Side by side up front, Shippy up on the high side, making the magic happen all the way around back to the lead. The Shippy showdown indeed. Everybody versus the 51 car, it seems like. You can see making that high side work with those fresher tires, trying to get down and around. The 03 car going to step on a line, gathers it back up, everything A-OK. We stay clean, we stay green. The 51 car of Shippy up in that middle to high groove, trying to get around Huntoon. He's been out on those tires for quite a few laps, trying to make the magic happen, trying to hold on to it, but it's just a matter of time, I feel like, for that 51 car, especially now that Stockwell and that 45 is up there with him. We've seen those two almost work together. It's not quite drafting at a short track. It's definitely not drafting here at Martinsville, but we've seen an opportunity or two where that 45 car would get to the back bumper of the 51 and just kind of shoot him on up, give him a bit of a nudge up into that position. We won't see that just yet, because caution flag comes out once again here on lap 147. 10th caution here of the night. We'll get an opportunity to pull that up here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out what went down. The 11 car looks stuck. The 11 car is stuck. I guess we'll call that a Ross Chastain, if we will. Looks like he is going to call for a tow truck finally. So that's a tough break for Cody Parker. We'll back up and find out how he got there. That is a tough spot to be in. That looked like the 55 car. It was the 55 car of Sargent involved in this one as well. So we'll take a peek at it. There is the 11 car getting on into it. That was a receipt. That's what you call in the wrestling world a receipt. The 55 car got into the back bumper of the 11 car. The 11 car didn't like it and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm going to do the exact same thing." That's 1,000% what that was. We'll see what race officials say. It looks like they may have parked the 11 car of Cody Parker, unfortunately, for the evening. And trying to see, looks like it may... No, the 55 car still, in fact, out there. Big damage, though, for Jeremiah Sargent. That's, yeah, he owed him one. Owed him one for sure after that little incident up from the second position earlier on. But going to gather him back up. 25 laps to go here in this one. Working lap 50. Still got lights up on top of the iRacing pace truck. Thank you guys so much for sticking around here tonight, checking out a little championship racing for the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. If you like what you see, be sure to give us a like, the share, the subscribe, the follow, all that good stuff. It helps us out in a big way. It lets us know people are out there watching, and it lets YouTube know that we got to tweak the algorithm a little bit to get out there in front of more and more eyes. And we're all over social media. Be sure to give us the follows. We got a lot of cool real racing stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I'll be heading down to Florida to do a little Speed Weeks action. We'll be able to check out all that cool stuff, more than likely on the Vidane Facebook page. I think I'll be posting throughout the next week and a half or so that I'll be down south doing the race car thing. And if you happen to be at Citrus and you see a big, dumb, red-bearded fellow that looks like he might like to scream into a microphone, come say hi. Always cool to meet some folks that have tuned in over the years. And it's crazy to think we're getting on in to year number 4 of doing this VidaneTV thing here. So many more years to come. Lots of cool stuff coming up on the go with real racing. We got a lot of fantasy sports stuff on the go here as well. We're going to be doing some fantasy football drafts later on in the year to kick things off for the NFL season. Might be doing it for the UFL season here as well. We'll see how quickly we can get our little system put together, and looking at potentially some fantasy racing for some local racetracks up here around the Northeast as well. It all depends on how quickly we can jam out the numbers here before the racing season starts. But lots of cool stuff, lots of things going on. So be sure to get us over on the social medias. We're live all over the place, trying to take over. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. And there you can see with 24 laps to go, the lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. We're going to turn these drivers loose potentially for the last time here tonight, but we know cautions breed cautions, especially here at Martinsville. There you see those two drivers up towards the front. Shippy going to take the bottom side. Huntoon up on the high side. Green flag flies. It has been all Shippy all night long. Another great restart for the 51. Going to slide on down in front of Stockwell in the 45, who moves on up into second. Ronnie Huntoon going to struggle to hold on to third right now because you can see the 54 car going to take a peek down on the bottom side. He's going to bring the champ with him. Nathan Wenzel in the 03 car going to try and come down. Just kidding. Everybody's going to get jammed up here with 22 laps to go. Caution flag number 11 flies. So the U-House Racing Designs instant replay shows us a little 3-wide action, and the one car back actually does a great job getting checked up, gets spun on around by the 55 car. A lot of damage on the radiator for the 55 car tonight, I'm seeing. But the incident was a little bit further up. It looks like it started with the 16 car of Zulo, so we'll slide that up just a little bit. Yeah, the 16, it looks like, checks up for the 43 car, and the 5 car doesn't see the checkup until he's up into the back bumper of the 16 is kind of what that looks like there. There was a little 3-wide action in behind him, so that could have been a whole lot worse than it was for being 3-wide and drivers getting wrecked up in front. That's going to give a couple guys an opportunity to come down. The 08 car has some damage. That Carmen ride has seen better days. Big time damage there in the right front. Going to try and limp this thing around for another 21 laps or so. There you see Kyle Buck, big time damage in the Exalta number 5 car as well. Still on the lead lap, but for how long? There you see the field coming around out of turn number 4. So it looks like the 5 car going to go down at least 1 lap here in this one, leaving 15 on the lead lap. And as we've seen here on VidaneTV, anything can happen in short track racing. Anything can happen in the sim racing world as well. 15 drivers on the lead lap with 20 to go at Martinsville realistically means that any 15 drivers could win this race. They're going to have a tall glass to order, though, to try and get around that driver. The 51 car of Skylar Shippy. It has been all Shippy all night here at Martinsville. Driven through the field a couple of times. Doesn't matter if it's old tires, new tires, worn tires, stolen tires, tires they got from the driveway, the parking lot. Doesn't matter. That 51 car of Shippy has been very, very quick all night long and trying to prove a point here tonight. Came in 32 points behind the leader in the point standings. Needed 33 drivers to show up here tonight. Came close. We got 24, so almost saw a little bit of a points battle here tonight. But Wenzel, the champ, coming into tonight, he's running 5th right now, so it still would have been a relatively tall order to try and get that championship trophy over to the 51 camp. But for right now, trying to take away a little bit of that spotlight. We see many, many times here on VidaneTV and in short track racing, whoever ends up winning the championship is going to end up winning that final race. It just seems like that's what you have to do to win these championships. But the 51 is Shippy saying, nah, he wants to get out there, take a little bit of that spotlight, try and get himself a victory to close it out and be the only driver to score 3 wins in one season. You saw the 5 car of Kyle Buck back down on pit road, going to try and hammer out some of that sheet metal. It looks like he was able to stay on the lead lap, but barely. So we will definitely see what the 5 car does here. So there goes the pace truck down to the safety of pit road. This is going to be exciting. 18 to go, 17 when they cross the stripe. Shippy down to the bottom side. Stockwell up top, waking them. Wait for it. Green flag flies once again. 17 laps to go. Stockwell slides into the tire tracks as Shippy. The front two get it sorted out. The 47 Huntoon down to the bottom side in that 47 car. The 54 of Kenny up on the high side, making his way up through the top 10. He's holding on to a podium spot, but for how long? They're still side by side. And you can see Shippy starting to drive off into the sunset. He's bringing Stockwell with him. Stockwell still right on the back bumper, but those two drivers starting to pull away by a little bit. Front four now have it sorted out. 43 car of Matthew Kimball having a hell of a run. Slowly making his way up towards the front. It seems like every caution flag we have, that 43 car was able to pick up a couple of more spots. That 54 dropping back just a little bit. There you see Kenny Thompson in the 039. Solid recovery for him, up 14 spots. Justin Beecher, Jeremiah Sargent having a recovery in that 9 car. Big time damage all the way around the 55, but still holding on to it. The 10th position going to Benson right now. But up front here with 14 laps to go, it's still all Shippy. The 51 gets himself about a 0.3 of a second lead over the 45 car of J.D. Stockwell. Rodney Huntoon holding on to third for right now, and he's got the champ right in behind him, the 03 car. Losing a little bit of ground there on that third place position, but still trying to hold on to it. He knows he's got the championship in the bag. He wants to try and get up and get around these front three drivers, but that's going to be a tall order, especially with only 13 laps to go here. Fresher tires up towards the front here as well. You can see the front two drivers came down pit road 55 laps ago. Huntoon struggling, but doing a great job. 108 laps on that set of tires. I think that's the longest that anybody's run here tonight. That may very well be why Wenzel has kind of dropped back a little bit. He's got fresh tires. He came down just about 25 laps or so ago, but he knows that putting any more pressure on the tires for the 47 that may very well we've seen cut tires, we've seen flat tires here here in the iRacing service, so might have backed up just a little bit because that 47 car is not slowing down. He is pushing as hard as anyone here in this one. Shippy up into the outside wall just a little bit. Don't think it slowed him down any, but you can see he has a little bit of a gap, a little bit of an air gap between he and Stockwell. 4 seconds. Stockwell's going to have to turn on to defense relatively quickly here. As you can see, he's got himself a back bumper full of that 47 car, and we've seen that car's relatively quick for as old as the tires are, and you got to be careful when you're on 100-plus lap old tires, because we've seen equipment failures, we've seen tire failures here as well, and you definitely want to kind of limp it home here with 9 laps to go, but when you're that close to second place, when you can get right to the back bumper as somebody that's been up in the top 5 all night long, the competitive side, the competitive inside of you tells you that you want to get up around that race car and you want to push the issue. You want to get up there and run hard. You want to get up there and drive hard, and you can see that 47 car has no quit all over the back bumper of the 45 car of Stockwell, having to get him into defense, and that's exactly what Shippy wants to see, because Shippy is driving off into the sunset. He's gained himself another 1/10 of a second up towards the front. The 051 driving away 4/10 of a second between he and second and third, bumper to bumper, and it's a little bit further on back to our 4th and 5th place cars of Wenzel and Kimball. Here, front 3 checked out. They have got themselves a bit of a show up towards the front. Still 4/10 of a second between a first and second. They're going to get high five from Barney in the flat stand. 5 laps to go here in Martinsville for the Lightning Chassis 175, little extra distance race on a championship night for the Turn 4 podcast. Winter iRacing Series, little onboard shot there from Rodney Huntoon, doing everything he can to try and get to the back bumper of the 45 car, and you can see a little bit of damage throughout all of the field here tonight. A lot of war-torn race cars throughout the field, but it's been a heck of a show here in Martinsville. A couple of incidences throughout the night, but that's to be expected on these little short tracks, the paperclip tracks, especially here at Martinsville. With 4 laps to go, 3 laps once they cross the stripe. There you see Huntoon doing everything to try and get to the back bumper but not quite enough time to get there. You can see Shippey has that same cushion, 4/10 of a second. Stockwell still has an opportunity, but time is running out in a big way. Popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go for our leader, Skylar Shippey. It has been the 51 car all night long. Lots of fans in the virtual stands for Skylar Shippey, and going into turn 3 and 4, going to try and grab that white flag and make this thing official. There you see Huntoon trying to close up to the back bumper of Stockwell, putting the 45 car on notice, putting him on defense. There you see it, white flag, a white rag, 1 lap to go here at Martinsville. Nice wide angle shot, shows just how much room between first and second there is, and it gives us a view of that second place battle. But there you see it in the 3 and 4 for the final time. Skylar Shippey going to take the checkered flag. He's going to close the gap a little bit at the end, make everybody think that they had a shot, but it doesn't seem like anybody really had anything for that 51 car. Skylar Shippey going to come home with the victory. J.D. Stockwell going to come home in second, Ronnie Huntoon and third, and Nathan Wenzel with that fourth place finish going to rack out the championship here for the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. Congratulations to the 03 and congratulations to the 51 car here as well. And as we take a peek at the official results here, we'll see if we can get caught up with some of our top 3 drivers, and we'll see if we can get hooked up with our champion here as well. And we'll go through and see what's going on. So there you see it, Skylar Shippey up towards the front, J.D. Stockwell in second, Rodney Huntoon going to finish in third, the champ Nathan Wenzel going to round out the fourth place, Matthew Kimball in fifth, Kenny Thompson, Kyle Kenny, Jeremiah Sargent, Justin Beecher, and Sean Boudreau going to round out the top 10, and we will slide on down to victory lane. Skylar Shippey putting on a hell of a show here for us tonight and trying to take away some of that championship spotlight, coming home with a dominating victory. The virtual stands are going crazy here for you, Skylar. Congratulations, man. What's going through your mind?
Thank you. I just wish I ran the first race of the year because we woulda put on a battle for the championship. But congrats to Nate. He ran good all year, and yeah, next year we'll go for the championship.
Absolutely. Came into second here tonight. Needed a couple more cars to try and make a little magic happen, but the champ with the top 5 run would have been a tall order to try and gather it up after missing that first race here tonight. But coming home in second in points, not too shabby, and doing it in dominating fashion here at Martinsville. What's next for the 51 car?
Well, they just announced an I-Act series, so I might be running that, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Absolutely, and got to give you an opportunity to thank anybody that might be out there watching. Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Salon Meraki, Northeast Home Restorations, Perkins, UNOH, all my family and friends that are watching.
Heck of a run here tonight, Skylar. Congratulations on the big win. 3 wins on the season.
4, thank you.
4 wins on the season. How about that? Skylar Shippey checking up on another one in the W column. J.D. Stockwell finishing in second. That 45 car up in the top 10 all night long, finishing with a great spot. J.D., talk to us, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was really good there. At the start, got dumped after that just checkup. Nothing anyone could really do. So I kind of thought I was screwed from the back because I hate Martinsville. But I was kind of just driving the whole time, and I got back up there, and then we pitted for tires, and we were gone.
Yeah, we've seen Martinsville always seems to bring the wrecks out in folks. We had a couple of incidences throughout the night here tonight, but nothing too crazy. Is that something that drivers get into to these races at Martinsville as well?
I mean, I would say so.
For sure, but putting on a show here for us tonight, the bright green number 45 car. Who's out there watching? Who do you want to thank, and who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank my mom, my dad, Skylar, Aaron, Alex, the Heat Race Heroes podcast, and I guess everyone for coming and watching all season.
Putting on a show here for us on Wednesday nights with a solid second place finish. We'll slide a little bit further on down the front straightaway here. Always cool to see these guys lined up on the front straightaway after the race. We don't have to walk too far. Well, we don't have to walk anywhere because, well, it's iRacing. But Rodney Huntoon putting on a show towards the end of the race and doing it on old tires. What did that thing feel like with 110 lap tires on it?
Just to have enough for the first two. I could run with them, but there was nothing I could do with them. Really didn't like seeing those last two cautions come out because I had a nice long run going.
Other than if you think you had fresh tires or even the same tires that those guys had up in the top two, you think you had anything for them?
Maybe might have. It's hard to pass when you're that equal, but I would give it a shot.
Still a heck of a run here and solid finish up in the top three here for the 47 car. Who's out there watching? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, I like to thank LaFawn Heating. They're always behind me, and 802 Precision.
Absolutely coming home in third here tonight for Rodney Huntoon, and we got to talk to the champ. Finishing in fourth here tonight. Came in and pretty much locked up the championship with the green flag here tonight, but still put up a hell of an effort. Comes home in fourth here tonight. Nathan, great run here, and congratulations on the championship.
Yeah, thank you. I think we knew we had it somewhere close locked up. I still want to try and run top 10. Getting the pole in qualifying was definitely a cool, and getting an extra point from that as well. And just glad to be here. Thank you for the Turn 4 podcast for putting this on, and thanks for my parents and my sister for watching.
Absolutely, getting a little bit of the hardware here and ending the season here. Nathan, what's next for the 03 camp? Where are we going to see you racing?
I think I might be running the IX series. I'm not 100% sure yet.
We'll have to get some details on that series over on the social media outlets for sure. But that's going to wrap everything up here for us. This guy's got to go pack a bag. I'm getting on a jet plane way too damn early tomorrow morning and heading on down to Florida for Speed Week. So if you see a big red-bearded fella down there that looks like he likes to yell into a microphone, be sure to wave and say hi. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we will be doing it live. Thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. We'll catch you